This is Racer X with another truing video. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. I just wanted to explain a few things real quick as we go through this here, lay everything out. All right. So, in the last video, I explained to you that I had come up with a tire truer, and Miguel Innovations made the design for me, just as I asked, and it came out perfect. So when I first started on this rim, okay, with the tire mounted, okay, from factory, it had a serious wobble in it. Okay, let's go to the center. It was doing this. Okay, somewhere in the center of the wheel, but it's all pretty much center, 90 degrees, top to bottom, left to right, if you understand what I am saying and you know anything about engineering and design and development. So anyway, we started there, okay, and I went and got my little wrench there, and you can buy these wrenches on Amazon if you'd like. They are metric, and they go from 2 millimeter all the way up to 5.5 millimeters. So there's in between ones, and then there's right on the money ones. My run on the money ones is like 5 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 2 millimeter. Well, they have in betweens too: 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. So anyway, and they're $20. You get a little bag like that. Yeah. If you lose your truing wrench or throw it away on accident, like I did, I threw away my truing wrench on accident. If it was an aluminum truing wrench, then I wouldn't have kept it anyway. I would have thrown it in the garbage because you need a steel truing wrench. When you go to true these wheels, if you do come up with a jig like this yourself and do it, you are going to need to have steel wrenches because these are chromoly spokes and chromoly nipples. Okay, so you don't want to use any kind of aluminum wrench because it will not work. Another thing very important that I'm going to explain to you: when you tighten them up, you tighten them up a hair. I mean, one hair at a time as you're truing. Do not crank on them. Do not pull on them because you could snap the spoke or strip out the threads, and now you're screwed. And I sent a few messages to Vitavon to send me extra spokes and nipples, and we will see what they say in the next few days. And then I'll let you guys know in another video if they're able to do that and how much it costs me. It may cost me the same or less than you guys couldn't tell you. Let's get on with this video and how this all works. Okay, as you can see, my jig is all set up there. Everything's measured out 100%. Okay, this is 1.125 millimeter this way, 1.25 millimeter that way. Okay, so if you understand the design of how it all works, it has to all be perfectly center. I have my cones or my collars on the inside. I had him use collars instead of making custom cones. And now let's get into it. Okay, so once again, it had a serious wobble going like this. Did it bug me? A little bit, but not so much. It's, an RC dirt bike. On a real dirt bike, it has to be flawless, like when I was racing pro motocross. So I figured, let me get into this. Let me take it off and see what we can do with this jig. And so I went ahead and set it all up, as you can see. Now it's set up specifically for a wobble, not a hop. Okay, so anyway, I got into it. I did hair threading measurements. In other words, I started turning the nipples a hair at a time in measurement. Okay, and you do it on the opposite side of the wobble. If it's wobbling this way, you find your flat spot, okay, and then you go ahead and true the spokes on the opposite side in that spot. And if you have to use a Sharpie, okay, to mark your spot, a little black dot on your rim to know exactly where that middle of that flat spot is, you can go ahead and start truing on the opposite side the spokes that are on this side, which pulls the rim this way. Okay, pulls it this way to get rid of the hop. like I said in my other video, you're going to have to really see. I've been doing this a long time. When it comes to truing bicycle, motocross, all that rims and stuff. So I understand the whole concept of it and the geometry of it. But you will have to go watch a motocross video or a motocross rim truing video, excuse me, to know what I'm talking about. So it might sound like a bunch of mumbo jumbo right now, but go watch the video, then you'll say, oh, now I understand what he's talking about, okay? So getting back again to the rim and the wobble, okay? Well, it had a serious wobble. Well, not anymore, it don't. I'm going to spin it for you. Keep an eye, okay, on this little red rubber boot and that edge. I'm going to get as close as possible without it blurring on you guys, and we're going to spin it. See how perfect that is? Don't look at the tire. Look at the little red booty and the aluminum rim, not the tire. See how perfect that is? I'll get even closer. Look, it has no more wobble. It is gone. The rim is now perfectly true. Perfect, okay? See, if you look at the aluminum and the little red booty, like I said, don't look at the tire because the tire's wobbly. It's all about the rim right now. We don't care about the tire. It's perfect. And there you have it. Okay? And that's how it's done. With this jig that I designed, now I could go ahead and take this rod. Now this is for my rear axle, and then I go ahead and put it on the jig and do my rear. Of course, I'm doing the front, as you can see. Now, for hopping, all I have to do is put this one down here, move it up right here. See how it hits the bottom of the tire? Well, when you true rims and respoke rims, you do not have a tire on there. You have to do it with just raw aluminum. Can't have a foam insert, cannot have a tire on it, okay? It has to be a raw rim, okay? Then this is brought up to the edge of the rim on the top to adjust the hop. Let me straighten it out, okay? And then this one over here, I adjust the rim so it doesn't wobble. So I'm doing two different adjustments, okay? I'm doing one adjustment to get rid of the hop and then one adjustment to get rid of the wobble. Excuse me. Yes, it takes a little time. Don't worry about it. You know, it's fun to do. You like working on your bike, you're going to love a jig like this if you try to copy this design or come up with your own design, okay? And it's going to take you a little bit because it's a lot of R&D just to come up with this jig that I designed, okay? So anyway, once you do that, you say, well, where do I start? Do I start on the wobble or do I start on the hop? Well, start on the hop first. Or you can start on the wobble. You can do either one. I would start on the hop. Once the tire isn't hopping and you see it wobbling, now you can move to the wobble, which is the adjustment here, okay? And once again, in the motocross truing videos, it will tell you which spokes to true to pull the rim up or down so you don't have the hop, and then it'll tell you on which spokes to true to get rid of your wobble. On a rim this size and the way they cut the threads and the length of the spokes, it should not take you long at all because everything was checked out, measured out, and gone through, and they pretty much got it to where you can just slap it all together and start tightening things down to where it's almost perfect without even a truing stand. So they did all the thinking for you, but that may not be so also, okay, depending on how the spokes sit inside the cradle, okay, which is the aluminum hole here. Well, those aluminum holes start to elongate and loosen up from impact of jumping the bike all the time on the ground, and then you're going to have to go back and tighten up and retrue your spokes. Once again, this is a maintenance rim, just front and back. It's a maintenance rim that I explained in one of my other videos. You will have to maintain these wheels depending on how much you beat on them. But I mean, look, I mean, I beat on them a little bit the past couple of weeks. I mean, I came down pretty hard, you know, 7-footers, 8-footers, and they didn't move a whole bunch, but over time they will. Plus I have the new foam inserts in there that I told you guys about in one of my other videos for front and for back. And that helps with the impact and take away a lot of the impact vibration and everything on the rim and spokes. So just be aware of that. You might want to go ahead and do what I'm saying on the foam insert. Okay, but there you guys have it. Came out to be a little bit longer video than I wanted, but yeah, there it is. Racer X, all trued up. Absolutely perfect on the aluminum. Don't look at the tire, guys, because it'll fool your eyes. Just look at the little red indicator needle and the aluminum. Okay, and there you have it, guys. All right, Racer X, peace out. Have a good weekend. Once again, enjoy my videos. We'll do a few more, and we'll go from there. All right.